What is mentoring? It is something that is quite different to coaching, and I've attempted to try in this slide to go over what the difference would be. At AphA, we're very keen to link up analysts, to give analysts a voice, to support them wherever we can, and this mentoring program is all part of that. So we do offer other types of support for analysts, but mentoring is really more of a development-driven activity. It's not just about their current job, but it's about the future as well. So it's really taking a more holistic approach to career development. So really, a mentor is someone who offers the mentees space to think with a peer. Hopefully that person's already had experience in an area they want to explore, and they can share their knowledge and their networks, so that the mentee can develop and use those and develop professionally as well as personally. So a mentor might signpost a mentee in specific areas where they want to develop personally, obviously sharing networks and signposting opportunities. What we found so far in the pilot program that we ran last year was that although we specified a sort of a defined relationship in terms of time, people have kept in touch afterwards, and we know from within AphA we've got quite a few people that have been mentors. They've maintained contact with their mentees for many years afterwards, and in some cases have become quite good friends. So I think it's hugely beneficial to make these connections between analysts with people that you perhaps wouldn't normally have contact with. So yes, it's about facilitating and building new networks, and I think that hopefully we'll have a chat with David on the call at the moment. He's been an AphA mentor, but there's a lot in it to be a mentor as well as a mentee, and some people have been both at the same time. You want to help other analysts, but at the same time you want to develop your own career. So that's absolutely possible as well through the program. So what I'm going to do is, this is just a half-hour meeting. I'm happy to take sort of calls and set up meetings and what have you with you individually, if you want to sort of talk about it more after this meeting. But we'll whiz through a couple of my slides, and then we'll have a chat to David, and I'll show you the process of the program application and what have you. So who should join the AphA Mentor program? Well, if you're wanting to develop your networks outside your usual circle, and it's open to any AphA member, it's free to AphA members, which is incredibly good value for money because AphA membership starts from £37 a year. And it's open to health and care sectors. We've got quite a few people from academic, local authorities, all sorts of sectors. So don't feel that you've got to be an NHS analyst to be part of AphA, because that's just not the case. And the broader range of professions and sectors that we have within our networks, the better as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, if you want to develop personally and professionally, and we'll go into a little bit more detail about what you do in a mentoring program, but you'll see that it's not just about professional development, it's about personal development as well. Obviously this aligns to a professionalisation agenda that we have in AphA, and obviously we do that in conjunction with FedIP. The professional registration accreditation very much fits with the Analyst X competency framework that's in development at the moment. And of course, being a mentor, being a mentee, that's professional development. So if you're looking to develop your CPD portfolio, then this is a great way of showing how you're developing personally, but how also you're helping other analysts develop. giving something back to the analyst community. I hear that a lot from mentors, why they signed up to the programme, and I think it's an amazing opportunity to help those around you, because you always get something back from it, I find. And you can be at any level. I get quite a few people saying to me, oh, well, you know, I'm only at this stage of my career. I've only been in the NHS a few years. You know, I'm at the start of my career, really. But, you know, there's always someone behind you looking to do what you're doing. So, you know, even if you do feel like you're sort of, you know, relatively young or sort of, you know, just starting out in your career, you know, I would say sign up to be a mentor. And, you know, if we have people looking for that experience, you know, how do I get into being a data scientist? You know, it could be as simple as that. If you're already on that pathway, you might be a junior data scientist, but you've got experience of how you got there. And that's perhaps what a lot of analysts would like to know. And actually, if you're relatively young and at the start of your career, maybe you do want someone that perhaps, you know, on the face of it might seem quite intimidating, you know, because they're quite far into their career and, you know, perhaps a little bit older. So I'm just trying to encourage people, don't be put off by the fact that you might be younger, you might be slightly less experienced, because I think, you know, every analyst who is a part of AphA has got something to offer. And as I say, if you're not part of AphA, then, you know, please do join us. And this is all about setting up a relationship where you agree a goal that is achievable in the time that you have together. And we at AphA, we're not very prescriptive on you have to, you know, have this many sessions over this time. We make suggestions, but the idea is, and the way that it's set up is that you, once you're matched with a mentee, mentor, that you decide together what works for you. So is it virtual meetings 1 hour a month? Is it face-to-face meetings every other week because you both live in the same town? You know, it's totally up to you how you develop that relationship and over what time period. The reason why we make suggestions is because, you know, you do need some boundaries, so that, you know, if you want to, you know, finish a piece of work and get to a goal, then, you know, having those boundaries just sort of, you know, sharpens the sort of the focus on the outcome. And we're offering, if the mentors want it, and even if you are a mentor already and have been a mentor, we encourage you to sort of come along to the specialist training that we offer, because your experiences can help the group. And again, the network of mentors that we're building up is a network and it's a support in itself. So yeah, so we're pushing on. Once we've got enough people signed up for the next round, we'll put out the dates for the mentor training. And it's run by an very experienced management consultant that I've known for quite a few years now, Bob. And he will help you through some structured advice on how to be an effective mentor, but also he's there as a support, and he has some great anecdotes about, well, you know, how do you ask those questions to elicit the information that you're trying to get from your mentee? What do you do if the relationship breaks down? What do you do if they start crying? You know, there's all those sorts of questions in your head that you might think, well, how do I deal with this as a mentor? And if you've never done it before, you might be sort of reassured with Bob's help that, you know, you'll be an effective mentor. And like I say, if you've already been a mentor, join the training and you know, help the others and share your experiences, because I'm sure everybody as a group has been through all sorts of experiences through their time as a mentor. So again, we're trying to keep it really simple. We're all busy in our day-to-day jobs, and we're just trying to put a framework around the relationship as opposed to being absolutely prescriptive. What we're doing at the moment is we're going through various sessions to answer people's questions if they've got any. We're asking them to fill out an application form, which is on the AphA website. Obviously go through the training and meet your mentor. What we'd really like people to do at the end of their sort of prescribed sessions, as it were, is to feedback so that we can adjust the programme. We've been writing blogs as to how the programme went last year, and encouraging people to sort of learn from the pilot programme and get involved. So it's very simple. We have a number of forms. What I'll do now is I'll share the application form, which I will make sure I get on screen now. So bear with me while I share my screen. So, is it sharing yet? No, hold on, share screen. Yes, perfect. So this is the application form. Very, very simple. Oh, David's alerting me to something. Yeah. Oh, right, sorry. This is the application form. As I say, very simple. My email address is on there if you've got any questions when you're filling it out, and when you have filled it out, please send it to me. But what we're trying to do is ask the minimum number of questions so that it's not onerous, so that we can match mentors and mentees together. There is a sort of a free text box. So if you've got something specific or even a specific person, I have actually approached someone directly. So as long as too many people don't say Mingtan, that should be okay. Yeah, just the number of questions to try and find out what sector, what skills, if you wanted to, link up with someone outside your geographical area, then, that's fine. We just need to know enough information. So tick a few boxes, add some information on the form, and then we'll sort of do a sort of a matching exercise to make sure that you're sort of linked up with someone that is suitable and is going to achieve what you need to achieve. So we've got a number of forms. So if you went onto the AphA website, where I've posted the link on this PowerPoint, which I'll send out to you, there's an initial session, and I've called this an initial session because it's slightly different to the subsequent sessions. And we're saying, the rough outline would be about one session a month for 6 months. If you want to do more, that's fine. If you feel less, that's totally up to you. But that's our, rough framework. And what we're saying here is that in that initial session, you're really setting up a sort of a personal, we call it contract, but it's not a contract, is it? It's just an agreement between you as to where you'll meet, how often, and the sorts of things that you want to achieve, bearing in mind that, you've got a defined number of sessions that you're going to do with each other based on your, your availability, etc., and what's achievable. So, it could be that you want to be professionally registered and you want some support through that process, or you want to get to a point where you feel like you could share your work at a conference. I don't know if anybody else can let anybody in the lobby. But think about something that you want to achieve, so that when you are meeting up, there is a purpose to it. There's that there's something that you can do in between sessions to get further forward towards that goal, and think about how that goal would be useful not only to you professionally, personally, but also your organisation. I think that's a useful conversation to have between the two of you as to what would be useful to discuss in your mentor relationship. And agree next actions so that you both know what to expect for the subsequent sessions. So as you can see, the forms, they're totally optional. Nobody's going to sort of send you a reminder to fill out stuff, but I think it is useful to have some sort of framework about how you go about the relationship. So those are on the screen. So I'm just going to share my slides again. So so I'll send out the PowerPoint to everybody registered for this meeting. It's available obviously on the AphA website, so quite easy to find. I've just shown you the application session forms, and I've pinched David's picture from LinkedIn, so it's not a surprise, is it, David? That one is publicly available. But what I wanted to do was just have a sort of a quick chat with David as whilst you're all on the line, just to give you the experience of someone who has signed up. I mean, David, I don't know if you want to give us a sort of a very brief introduction to yourself and what you do, your sort of history and what have you, and we can just have a quick chat about your experiences as a mentor.
Hello, my name is David. I'm a computer scientist by background. I worked in the private sector for a while, then decided to move to the public sector and ended up in the NHS. So I worked in a variety of environments in my NHS career. I worked in trusts, in regions, and in a number of national teams. And I've recently joined the Health Economics Unit as Chief Analyst there.
Fantastic. So you've got a sort of wide experience of sectors and job roles and what have you, which is fantastic. So why did you sign up? Apart from the fact that I think I might have stalked you on LinkedIn, and so could you? But why did you? Couldn't have just been pressure from me?
Yeah, absolutely. Julia's stalking, scary. No, it's. I think the cheesy answer is sometimes the correct one. I think it's undeniable that the world of analytics, which is a huge word that means a million different things to each person, is big. The analytics world is big and changing very quickly. The world of health and social care is huge and very complicated. There's a lot of complexity under that umbrella. And having a desire to be part of that world and to have a positive impact in the world is very understandable, but it's not always easy to understand how to navigate, how to grow, how to develop, how to be the best person you can be in that world. And I think I've been lucky at very specific points in my career where I've met people who were who had more experience than me and were generous and decided to spend time with me and gave me a place to talk about what I was going through and ask questions, and they offered me some advice without having that performance focus that sometimes you'll get when you're speaking to your line manager, when you're in your own organization. So I felt that as someone who feels very strongly about analytics in health and social care, I felt that I could have a bigger positive impact by being part of this.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and I totally agree with you there. I've had a sort of long and winding road to working with the NHS, and you're right. It's those sort of pivotal points in your life when you realise actually it's someone's generosity that has spurred you in that direction, and this is a great opportunity to give those moments to someone else. Um, so just tell us a little bit about who you were matched with and what you agreed to do in your relationship as a mentor-mentee.
So I was actually matched with a health economist, a brilliant health economist who was just was about to be promoted to a new role where for the first time they were going to have line management responsibilities and more a bigger leadership role, and they were just not sure about what that meant. I think they had a bit of they absolutely cared very deeply about doing a great job, and they wanted to make sure that they could find their way to grow into that new role. So throughout our sessions, we agreed to discuss exactly what the transition was going to mean, and we started from more generic sessions. I think especially the first the introductory session, we had a good chat about the bigger landscape of what was changing in their team and what this transition meant to them. And then in following session, they came forward with more specific topics that they felt were important to explore for their development. And at each session, when I had whenever they sent the topic beforehand, I prepared to support in the best possible way.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, what do you think you got out of that relationship? I mean, was there something that you didn't expect, or it would encourage you to sign up again for the next round of mentorship?
So if there's one thing that I think you heard something, and I definitely think it's true, is I can't remember the exact wording, but sometimes people say that if you want to really learn something, you should explain it to someone else. And I think helping someone think through a problem, I think, can really help you consolidate your own learning. So especially with this mentee, this was someone who had, as I was saying, gone from one position to a different role with more responsibility, which is something that I've done multiple times in my career. And at every transition where I've stepped up, I feel like I've learned a lot, and I've been through all the trials and the tribulations, and you kind of absorb the knowledge. It kind of crystallizes and it's part of you, but you've never really you don't often have the opportunity or need to really verbalize everything that you've learned. But I think that going through that exercise of supporting someone by explaining or helping them understand through your experience what they're going through, I think can be hugely beneficial to really helping things settle for you as well, and also to know more about what you know about. So I found it very, very helpful.
Yeah, that's really fantastic, and I know from the person that you were matched with that they were, their feedback to the program was extremely positive. So, I'm hoping now that person will sign up to be a mentor. They may well want to sort of, carry on being a mentee as well, but I'll definitely be encouraging them to you know, to sign up to be a mentor. And in that way, you know, sort of our bank of mentors will get bigger and bigger over time. No, that's fantastic, and you know, I'll you know, certainly when it comes to you know, the next phase of the program, you know, it's not just about matching people who've got the same skills or on the same pathway. So you were linked up to a health economist. You're a computer scientist, data scientist, chief analyst now. So, but there were still skills that you could transfer across to your mentee, even though you're in different sectors and what have you. So, yeah, so fantastic result. And you know, I know that other mentors have spoken at other sort of AphA branch meetings about their relationships and their success stories through it, and some of the challenges as well. But like I say, if you do sign up to be a mentor, then there's lots of support. You're not just sort of left alone. If you want to reach out and get support from anyone, then we're more than happy to you know, have one-to-one sessions. Bob was offered to you know, to have one-to-one sessions with people if needs be. So I'm going to stop sharing now. We've literally just gone over the original time meeting that we'd put aside, but let me just check the chat. Do I have any questions? No, I don't think so. So yeah, so this recording will go up on the AphA website. It'll be on LinkedIn, so if you want to share it with anybody, please do. Please reach out to me if you've got any questions, and please visit the AphA website for all the different forms and what have you. But just like to say a big thank you for David for joining us today, and I look forward to hopefully seeing at least some of you on our mentorship program in the near future. So thanks everyone, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.
Thanks.